But we'll find out when it shuts off due to being overly packed.
Or the battery run out first.
Gotcha.
We are
don't
going.
have it plugged in?
The laptop?
Yeah.
No, I don't have the charger.
Oh, fuck.
It's got plenty of battery life. It should be fine.
Gotcha. Okay.
It was plugged in and on the dock all day at work. I figured out a long time ago that battery's pretty fucking baller, and if you don't run those down pretty frequently, those HP batteries start to do this shit where they swell up and eventually will explode.
Yes.
There was, I'll show you the picture before I leave.
Okay.
There's one that caught fire.
Fun times.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So, Ariana, you were the hostess with the mostest.
Hello, butt pluggers and butt
Blah blah blah.
butt pluggies. Welcome to the Strobing Butt Plug. I am Ariana, your host, and my co-host Missy and Ronald.
Fuck that guy.
And today we're gonna drink beer.
Yay.
Yay.
And tell funny stories.
Oh yeah, that too.
We make fun of each other.
We're just gonna sit here and drink beer and not talk.
That would be hilarious.
Welcome to the next hour and 15 minutes of your life.
ASMR.
This beer that I pulled the label off of, this shiny can, is delicious.
AMSR.
And you don't get to know what it is.
ASMR beer drinking.
My ass is very good. Oh, broke the seal. Here, listen to the sound of me peeing now.
That'd be fine.
Okay, so for today, I have got Brewdog, brewed in Ohio, Clockwork Tangerine, a citrus session IPA. Can's not like super.
Sounds pretty good.
I know. I don't think we've done a tangerine one, have we?
I don't like citrus drinks,
Tangerine
but
sounds
citrus
good to me.
IPAs are good to me. And tangerine, I don't think we've done.
Sounds good to me.
And then
That sounds amazing.
from the Dayton Beer Company, we have the Java Man Cummins, an American style stout with coffee.
I almost bought that last week.
Did ya?
Yes.
Dude, I got these for $1.70.
Oh, yeah.
Where
like,
at?
I can very
Like a
Nice.
6-pack?
No, just for one can.
That's not bad either.
That ain't
I
bad
didn't
at
think
all.
it's bad.
Nope.
And then the mysterious berries,
I was
as
gonna
you
say,
revealed later.
6-pack, I'd be buying the shit out of them.
Right? No.
Look, yeah.
So.
Switch you with a needle and thread.
Yeah.
Our camera equipment is different this week because of technical limitations and forgetting memory cards. So, might be better, might be worse. If not, whatever. Yell at us later.
I see we got the crotch shots going on again.
We do.
So which one you guys want to drink first?
I don't know. It's your party. Your
Let's
week.
see. I'm thinking we're gonna go coffee first.
I was going to do that. It just sounds like it would be a better first.
Yeah.
So this one is brewed in Dayton, Ohio, and
Where are those guys located at in Dayton, I wonder? What's the name of it?
The Dayton Beer Company. Like party foul.
Motherfucker.
Party foul. on
This
that
kid
shit.
is fucking broken.
So I was running all the fuck over Dayton. I've not heard of them last weekend. So
I feel like I know I've heard of them. I know I've had their stuff.
I think I've heard of it.
they're around the corner from the Dayton Dragons.
Smells like coffee. Ooh, wow.
Maybe a chocolatey coffee.
They're like right down there near Warped Wing, and man, they're all tightened up in that area.
That's really good.
So,
I know I've had it before, and I think it was well before I liked craft beer real well, so I didn't think it was too good. It tastes really fucking
this
good.
is not bad at all.
It's more coffee than beer to me.
It is.
Kind of reminds me of Guinness a little bit.
I don't think I've ever had a Guinness.
It's been a long, long time ago, so I could be completely wrong because I didn't like it back then.
So I remember the first time I ever had a Guinness, and you ripped my ass about it for ages.
I did, I know.
Because I said it had a woody taste.
It said it tasted like woody, sticking
And
big
Missy's
in his
all,
mouth.
"What? How do you know what a woody tastes like?" Well, you know, like wood, like where? Like a big dick wood.
I did.
That sounds like something Missy would do.
Ripped
Yeah.
his ass and coffee beans, chocolate malt. That does have the chocolate in it. So
Chocolate malt, okay.
good. Thought it said breast. It said beast.
Yeah, I need to do that.
Yeah,
It's got a
breast
nice
in it.
ring.
Talking about
has breasts in it. Yes.
Mm.
Just tall ass titties.
It was really good.
It
I'm
is
really
good.
disappointed that I didn't buy some because I could buy a whole 6-pack and love it.
Man, Sunday I was just up the street from those guys. I know it, man.
I feel like maybe I have seen it. I just never went there. I drive all over Dayton doing Uber and shit, so
Must not be too big, but that's all good. They do good work. I'll have to make a trip there.
This one is 7%.
it's nice.
Sounds about right. Tastes about like a 7%.
I think the other ones are lower. That's the Heights one. That was the only one I didn't look at earlier.
So how the fuck we doing this week, ladies?
I'm good.
Fine.
We just had Labor Day. Anybody do anything good?
No. Did I get drunk on Labor Day? Nope, I did not. Yes, I. Wait, no. I think it was Sunday that I got drunk. I don't get drunk often anymore.
Did you do anything useful, Ariana, or fun? Or
not
awful?
really. I don't think I got drunk at all. I went to Ian and Janie's house and
That's about it.
had dinner and I didn't do a whole lot.
yeah.
I worked because my employer sucks like that. Saturday I went to Kings Island and it was awful. Sunday I was going to go to a concert with Mr. Zach.
Why was Kings Island awful? Oh, because you got stuck on the
So
cunt toaster.
yes, my daughter and I went on the cunt toaster, or actually known as the stunt coaster. And when you get to the top of that coaster, there's a part where they have a helicopter shooting at a wall and there's flames. Well, it did all that, and we just sat there for like 3 or 4 minutes. Like, oh shit, this thing just fucked up. And when we got to the bottom where you normally get off, we sat there with the brace, the belt, with the restraints on, for like half a fucking hour roasting in the sun. I felt like shit afterwards.
That would suck balls.
Shit
It was
is.
really fucking good.
Just choke that shit.
It's like chugging a coffee.
The concert we were going to go to got canceled because one of the crew members got COVID. Fuck you, COVID. But we did spend the day Sunday running around doing brewery stuff. Went to the Carolyn Brewery down at the Carolyn Park in Dayton. We wanted to hit that one up for a while. I think we've talked about that one here before.
Yeah.
And all of their beer is very, I'll just describe it as very pure beer. There's no like, this is a hoppy IPA flavor like rutabaga in your mom's underwear or anything. It was all just really pure beer tastes. We sat outside and everything there is wood fired. So the wood fire smoke was kind of wafting over the area. And I want to go back in about a month when it's getting to like 50 degrees outside, sit outside in a jacket and just sit. That'd be fucking perfect. Went up to another favorite after that, Elmatic up in Huber Heights. Met up with our buddy Chad and had everything and some. That was a good afternoon.
What kind of things did you try?
They had one that was called Ooey Gooey or just Gooey, and it was like a honey ale.
Sounds amazing.
They blew the guy said they blew the keg on it and went through it faster than they thought, so it must have been better than he thought. And they'd actually had some canned up. We bought 2 cans. Zach was going to take one home for a trade later, and after we got through the first can, he cracked into the second one and split it between Chad, myself, and him. He also got this midnight something or other that was like a cinnamon coffee ale.
Oh god, that sounds amazing.
It was a little heavier than I was in the mood for because I was starting to get full from drinking all day, but it was damn good.
That would be fucking good.
Yeah, it's fun times. I did not want to fucking go to work yesterday. I didn't want to go to work today. And, fuck it.
You ever want to go to work? I really don't.
Right, I'm dreading going tomorrow. I haven't been there for like almost a fucking week, like 5 days.
There are some times when going to work ain't bad, but lately, because I've been doing that job hunting crap, I really want to just not,
Can we just don't?
We just don't.
Can you don't?
Can we just don't?
I can say I'm kind of looking forward to going to work tomorrow, even though it's a fucking 7 a.m. shift instead of 9 a.m. shift. And I'm going to work with like one of my favorite people to work with. He said we have some run. It's like a real long run, so it'll take up a good portion of our day, which is cool. But I had this one patient last week. So normally, when you and your partner dispatch will send you a run. Whoever's doing the paperwork gets the run info because it's all done on an iPad. So like even like the shit's sent. So he's like, yeah, we're just going to go to this room at this, hospital, and we're taking the patient to this hospital. And they were getting, they're going to go for a liver transplant. Because when I walked towards that room, I was like, fuck. I usually like to at least have the person's name in case dispatch or somebody fucked up the room number. I'm not going in the wrong room. And so I went in and I was like, I don't even know what my patient's name's supposed to be. But my patient, they were really yellow and jaundiced, and I was like, well, that would be them because they were going for the liver transplant, so I knew that was them. I was like, hey, how's it going? And she's like, oh, whatever. She's talking to me. It's this nice Asian lady. She's like old. Like, I couldn't tell how old she was, but later on from the paperwork, I learned that she was 79 or 80, 81, or something like that. So, I'm talking to this lady. So I asked her, we're taking you out, right? Where are you supposed to go? And then she told me where she was supposed to go, so I knew that also that was a double confirmation that I had the right patient. So I was like, well, my partner's getting the paperwork, waiting for the nurse, so we can get, report from the nurse. We're just going to, I'll get your stuff ready, whatever. So I was getting all her stuff ready. She had her purse, these, just I don't know, it's like a pink shirt and some black fuzzy bed pants that had the word love and a heart on them, red and pink, and they were all in a bag. So I was bagging this stuff up for her, and I was helping her out and everything, and it was just okay, whatever. And so my partner came in the room and hey, he said the nurse didn't come by and he was sick of waiting on the nurse, and I was like, we're just gonna take the patient. I don't care. They gave us paperwork. So the patient said that she couldn't get up and walk over to our cot or anything, and we didn't have a sheet on it. And I said, since she's gonna have a longer ride, let's get a better sheet underneath of her and everything. So we rolled the patient over, and as we're rolling the patient back, the patient's dick popped out of their brief. I was like, what the fuck just happened? I was like, and I was so confused because
chuck it back up in there.
No, I just poked a little bit and it moved, and I'm like, was that a dick? What the fuck was that? And I was freaking out because I was like, I thought this was a chick. I didn't know the name. I was like, what the fuck? And I'm looking, I'm like, did I just keep referring to our patient as a her and she in front of the patient, and they didn't know what the, they didn't correct me? Usually, when I have a transgender patient, it's when I go to the nurse's station, we actually get to talk to the nurse, and the nurse was like, yeah, this is such and such, but they like to go by this name, so they're transgender, blah, blah, blah. I get that warning, so it's not a complete surprise. And normally if I saw somebody face to face, it wouldn't be so much of a just shocking surprise. But when you see her dick, literally, I was like, damn, what the fuck? And then, so later on in the shift after we dropped it off, I said something to my partner about that. I was like, dude, did you see her dick? He's like, what? Damn it! I'm not disappointed that I didn't get to see her dick. I was like, I'm pretty sure that was
a dick or a giant clit.
I was so confused. And then, so going back to the paperwork, it's really weird because usually it'll just say sex, but it said legal sex as male, and I'm like, our patient was transgender at 80. I was fully shocked. This person looked really feminine, no facial hair, no stubble. They didn't even have the old lady stubble. There was no stubble. That's almost better than most old ladies, more feminine than most old ladies. All old ladies end up losing their fucking estrogen and they start looking like men. This guy was very feminine.
So you had
definitely a woman, minus the penis.
So you had a granny tranny with a dick that puts mine to shame. That's okay.
Yes, probably did. And this person was Asian, so if you go by stereotypes, because that's what we always do, the small dick put your tiny dick to shame. There you go.
So, completely random question since we're using a different recording system. Do you feel more or less self-conscious seeing our actual damn selves?
At first, I was I felt a little bit self-conscious. I was like, God, I am fucking fat.
Same.
I'm over it now.
I don't care.
Well, it was like this, and my shirt popped up, and I was like, oh no! So I put my shirt down and I crossed my legs. I was like, oh, I'm not too fat. That's cool.
Except for the crotch shots.
Those are kind of awkward. A little awkward.
Yeah.
It's cool. Whatever.
We'll just all come wearing skirts next time we have to do it like
That'd
this.
be hilarious.
I don't know why that just reminded me of us thinking. Okay, so I've been seeing signs for haunted houses opening up soon. I was thinking maybe we
our trailer trash week, and then
Next
we all forgot or something.
Next week. So next week, no, Ariana did not forget. She's the one who reminded us all.
Yes.
Okay, I forgot.
We're gonna have our trailer trash. That'll be our first costumes, trailer trash costumes.
Cool. I figured out what I want to be for Halloween. I'm not gonna say what it is, but like I have a couple of costumes picked out. But yeah, I was like, this one, I'm like, dude, I really want to be this. And I was kind of thinking about it like earlier, and I was like, this could be like a costume where me and Missy could dress up like this, and then one could be his own whatever. Like you gotta dress up like a woman.
So you say that.
Great.
Today was my daughter's first day of her junior year at school. Yay for school. Thank God that kid's going back to school. She needs something to keep her out of my face and busy. But she got all dressed to the nines this morning and put on fishnet stockings. And she was sitting there going, blah, blah, blah. You don't know how hard it is to put on fishnet stockings, Dad. Stop rushing me. And I literally looked at her and like, actually. And she's like, you know what? Just, no, I don't want to hear it. Just shut it, Dad. No.
I remember when you wore the fishnet stockings.
I was fucking pretty. I will show you the photos sometime, Ariana. Because they are actual photos, not on the phone photos.
That's good stuff.
Went to Rocky Horror Picture Show back in the day when it was at the Neon. I went out and I bought this really nice curly red-headed wig, a French maid's outfit, and I went dressed as Magenta. Tried to wax my freaking chest hair. Dude, that was bad. Decided
that was good stuff. I didn't know you tried to.
Oh, we were going to work at that, me and the ex, and decided that, you know what, it was best just to not, because it wasn't going to work out real well.
It's painful at first several times, but it like basically your hair gets thinner and it just deteriorates your hair follicles. So
what was that movie where Steve? 40-Year-Old Virgin. Yeah. So in the movie 40-Year-Old Virgin, he got waxed and he was like bleeding, and they were like, "Oh, we'll stop." Yeah, that was a very real thing.
I think we ought to do that. We just ought to do that. Like one of the days, Ron should dress up like the 40-Year-Old Virgin, and we should watch. Just wax him.
At any rate.
Hell yeah.
That'll be for the Patreon folks that we don't have.
That would be funny.
If we get a Patreon and they want to give us money, I will do that for money.
That's so funny.
I'll want it for pain and suffering.
I couldn't imagine that would be very painful.
I've got a lot of hair there, love.
Yes.
At any rate, the Rocky Horror thing, I did that. I had some big old beanbag titties going on, and I was fucking pretty. Curly red-headed wig, ran around looking like Magenta. It was at the Neon Movies in downtown Dayton, and there's like a big beer party district down there called the Oregon District. And at that time, they'd always have their like Halloween Haunt Fest, same time as they'd have the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and it was always just a big crazy ass party. I walked down there and walked back, and there was some Chinese dude, and
was it Chinese?
Chinese, vaguely Asian. The important part is he was drunk as fuck and thought I was a real chick, thought I was the prettiest chick in the world. And I kept going, I'm a dude. He was like, no, that's fine. He kept coming up and grabbing my beanbag.
He was cool with you being a fucking cross-dresser. That's what he was looking for.
He kept coming up and grabbing my beanbag tits and shit, and kept like trying to be all up over me, like, good God, is this what happens to women? Jesus, this is horrible.
Pretty much.
I'm not even that pretty of a woman,
Just imagine if you were hot.
No shit.
I can't say I've ever had anybody come up and like grab my boobs or anything, but definitely had some bad things happen.
People just do. The only place I can say that I've had people come up, it's been fucking girls, or it was at a gay club and the gay dude.
Yeah, I've had girls.
Girls will do it because they think it's okay because it's okay. I'm a girl. Like
you're a girl. I'm a girl. We got boobs. You don't like grab my back. Now we're making out. Now it's lesbian sex. Now we have my fantasies. Oh wait, another time.
And then I was at a gay club, and I was with some friends, and I forget why the conversation took place, but I think my friend complimented the one of the drag queen, like the show people, and then the drag queen complimented my friend's boobs, and she was like they were worth every penny, and so then everybody wanted to grab her boobs, and so it became a boob grabbing fest. And it was like a bunch of gay guys grabbing like me and her boobs, and I was just like, fuck.
I am gay.
Like,
I am the gay for right now.
But I was just like, yeah, fucking what the hell? I mean, like, this is noticeably gay. It's like, okay, cool. You're not getting anything from it, and well, whatever.
They might be getting something.
I don't know, maybe.
Gay, straight, everybody loves boobs, okay?
Probably. Right.
Boobs are cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are.
Yeah. Everybody loves boobs.
Boobs are nice.
That's pretty much
I grab
universal
mine a
feeling.
lot.
I love mine all the
It's
time.
just nice.
Especially like when you're running up and down the stairs. And
Oh
just
yeah,
like
you
having
feel them
to
jiggle and
just,
shit.
like,
That's
kind of
amazing.
all over the place.
Me too, unfortunately.
Sometimes you just sit there, you know, in front of the TV and you're just like,
It's comfortable and it's
It
just
is.
like
it's like a good hand rest.
it's comforting because you have a place to rest your hands, but it's comforting because like, oh, my boobs are being grabbed. Like,
I also figure if they're like really big boobs, you know, when you're eating, you're like, oh, I dropped a chip.
oh man, they
Never
catch
have
so
that.
much shit.
My gut,
I
my
have
gut
that.
catches all that. It goes right in between.
Oh yeah, when you're when you're wearing a like a V shirt, like for me, it's like it's immediately lost. I'm like, what the fuck happened? And I'm like trying to like
Dig
find
it, you're,
shit.
you're like,
Oh, I have to dig.
digging
Mine
down
goes
for
like
China.
right there and the bra catches it and then I'm like, ooh.
it's like a whole fucking hide and seek find for me. It's like, what the fuck? It's like immediately goes under the bra. It's like all smashed in there, and it's not like ooh. It's like ooh.
I'm now thinking about boob sweat Doritos falling on there.
Ron's fantasy.
Boob sweat. They're like those Lay's potato chips where they make the fucked up bags. Like it's like not
Sounds
a real.
like your next OnlyFans. Boob sweat Dorito eating.
Hey, you know,
that's funny shit.
Hey,
You
they
could do
did,
that.
They did reverse course. You can make money off OnlyFans. They're not getting rid of adult sex workers.
Right.
It's true.
Like I wonder. There's got to be someone who's into that. I'm just gonna sit there.
Definitely.
Like I should create an OnlyFans where I just like a handful of Doritos and I'm eating it like Cookie Monster. Like, they're just fucking, and then I'm like picking them out of my bra and shit like
More
that.
than one person in there.
Oh, definitely. I
Well,
could probably make
I
some damn
remember
good
like
money off of that.
episodes of like fucking Jerry Springer type shit back in the day where people were like, "Oh yes, we have sex in a bathtub full of cream corn."
Right, Jesus, that's the.
And they'd be like, you know, super fat, like 400 or 500 pound couples,
Well,
and you're just like, why did they agree to go on there and do that?
because they probably got paid, or they wanted their 15 minutes of fame, some attention and shit, or they were getting their porn name out there. Like who fucking knows?
That was pre-internet though, so I don't know.
Just because it was pre-internet doesn't mean it was porn, and it wasn't really pre-internet. It was pre-peak of the internet.
Pre-internet's a utility, not a novelty.
Yeah, I had what was it? I was gonna say something about I don't know.
Jerry, you're not the mom. You are the mom.
That's Maury.
Yeah.
Maury, whatever.
So I had this story I was gonna tell when we were eating, and I decided to wait. I couldn't remember if I had told it on one of these, and I started throwing the story out there, and Alan said she didn't think she heard it, so we're going over this. Because Ron.
Wait, a distraction.
Yeah. I was
Yes.
actually thinking
Oh,
that.
yes, we can do that. Go ahead.
Beer during your story. Okay, so Brewdog, Clockwork Tangerine. This one I think was like the 4.5%.
I feel like a lot of IPAs. Is that an IPA?
Yes.
Yes. A lot of IPAs are like 4.5 or like under 5%, and they taste like they should be higher than that.
It's the hoppiness.
Right.
And this one's a nice color.
It's very pretty. It's definitely got that tangerine color. Like really yum looking.
I don't know if it'll pick up right, but yeah.
Yeah, it looks like apple juice
Ooh, it
pea.
smells good. I can smell it now. It smells very citrusy.
It does. That's pretty good. That's the one thing, like, I hate citrus and I hate IPA, but when you mix them together, it's like fucking good. The hatred for one another cancels each other out.
It's like the citric acid and the hops do something magical together.
This almost
do.
tastes like a seltzer or something. Like, to me, I don't know, because it's like kind of got a weak
Where did it say they were out of?
flavored water. Columbus.
Okay. Columbus, Ohio.
It says like sea bus on there or something somewhere, I think.
Yeah, it's right there. I'm looking for like the ingredients.
tangerine something or other.
Well, it almost reminds me of a dreamsicle.
Yeah, it's not very creamsicle to me.
It's not, but it's just a little bit. And I was looking to see if it had any.
Lactose?
I don't think it does. It doesn't say that it does, but there's no. It says natural flavors. So anyway,
Your story.
absolutely. So Ron was making a mention to some stuff. We won't throw him under the bus, but I said something about taking someone's coffee cup and rubbing it in his sweaty, hairy ass cheeks. And so then I said, I have a story about that. And my story was, so I used to work at this factory, and there was this dude there that I worked with, and he was like, I would talk to him, but he just like was just always up in my workspace. And when I first started working there, he would be like shitty. He was making fun of me, so I just made fun of him back, and like it just kind of worked out like that. But there was one day he came up to me to relieve me for lunch, and it was like hot and sweaty and messy in that factory. He runs up to me, and I got my back turned, and as soon as I turn around, he throws his armpit in my face and like grabs my hand and like rubs it in his armpit. I was fucking furious. It was disgusting. Actually, he wasn't even relieving me for lunch. It was like lunchtime, and he went to relieve somebody else, and I was like fucking pissed because then I couldn't go
I
wash
had
my
like
face.
flashbacks to Mallrats when the dude did the stink bomb.
That's great.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, he had the pretzels and
Yeah,
he
like
stuck his hand in his sweaty ass crack and
there was like
handed him pretzels.
like a douchebag on the show, and he was like, "Man, if somebody pisses you off, you just need to stink palm them. What do you mean stink palm them? Well, like you go take a shit, but you don't really wipe real well, and you stick your hand down and you just get it right up in between your ass cheeks. You get some chocolate pretzels because you already got that brown on your hand, and then you just hand him a nice big juicy handful of brown chocolate pretzels." And then like in the show, like you saw the guy who's like, "Would you like a chocolate pretzel?" He was like, "Yes," and of course the guy was an asshole that was a taker. He's like, "Argh." They made like a real big point, show all the chocolate all over his face, and you're like, is it chocolate? Is it shit? I don't know. Then a little bit later, the guy on the show was like deathly sick from eating like that dude's ass.
That's funny. But so anyway, so the dude ended up. So I don't know how it worked out. I don't know if he ended up breaking me for lunch or whatever. But throughout the night, like every night, because he was a material handler, he would be walking around making sure all the each mold machine had their parts. And he would come up to me, talk to me, and he often left his drinks at my workstation. So he had a Gatorade. They were left at my workstation, and it was there. And I'm like, fuck that son of a bitch. And so, like, I was watching everybody walk by, like the other material handlers, and watching everybody's machines, seeing like, okay, like they're not really watching. He goes by about this time, and he stays over there, and this is when he comes over there, and he just started walking over there, and this is how I was timing it just right. So I had my pants unbuttoned and everything and unzipped, and I'm like getting the machine just right to where like I had everything done, and then I had his cap off his Gatorade, and I'm like the dude across the way, Danny, just kept watching me. So I was like, fuck it. And so when I had everything done, I took that bottle and I pulled my pants down and I rubbed it in my sweaty ass crack, and then I put it back. Danny was dying laughing. Like, he was a big dude, and I thought he was gonna kill over. Like, he was laughing so hard. And that's what his thing was, like, when I think it was, like, the next break, I was going to, I left for my next break, and he called me over, he's like, hey, when you tell him about that, I want to be there. I was like, okay. He knew I was going to tell him. Like, I was like, alright. So then, like, throughout the rest of the night, he didn't come back and drink that for a while, and I was like, it could be a decoy. Like, I knew it could, like, I was thinking that could be a decoy thing, but he was drinking a bottle of water, and he left it at the end of the cell, so it was like more so an aisle. I was like, fuck. So I took that and then like I rubbed it on my armpit at the end of the aisle. So both of them I fucked up.
You marked both of them.
Yes, I did.
Like a dog marking her territory.
So at the end of the shift, like it was like a smaller place, so everybody would just huddle around the time clock, but we'd be like right outside the door because it was cooler outside than inside. And once everybody was there, I told everybody, I was like, hey, so at this point in time, during the shift, this is what Steve did to me. And he rubbed my face and his armpit, and they were all like, "Oh man, that's fucking shitty. Why the fuck would he do that?" And they were like all like booing him and stuff. And I said, "But to get him back, And I told them what I did with the Gatorade and the water. And they all were dying laughing. I was like, so what tastes better, Steve? My sweaty armpit or my sweaty ass?
What'd Steve do? Is he pissed or what?
I think he knew to take it well because I pissed him off several times before. And he just kind of was like, you know, it already happened. He couldn't stop it. So he's like, said something about he liked them both. And then he just kind of walked off. You could tell he was embarrassed as fuck. That was like the main point. I was like, good, fuck you.
Yeah, the one thing I've learned in this life, if it's anything, don't piss that bitch off.
That's good stuff.
I'm many things, but I'm not done. Well, not done.
It was really funny when they rimmed his Gatorade on my ass. I would do that again to anybody in a minute if they deserved it.
I think you'd do it even if they didn't deserve it.
I'm not that shitty. If someone deserves, I don't like people for no reason like I used to. Like just have somebody that I hated for no reason. I probably just would have done it to them. But now these days, it's like, nah, there's no point in doing that.
The older, more mature, responsible Missy.
Because then you just hold that all in for when somebody really does deserve it. It's like, pow, and it's like way better. It's not doing little dumb, small petty shit. You're getting to the big shit at that point. Yeah. 20 people you got a little pissed off at, but you just, shrugged it off, and then this person who really deserves the shit, like, you fucking go on in full force, and it's a good day.
Good, Missy. Good, Missy. Good puppy.
Absolutely.
Well, my life's been pretty uneventful lately.
Lately.
Well,
Make up something.
I have some cool. I have stuff, but not like public stuff.
Can't make this shit public.
So, like, the private stuff, she's like, so I was, like, totally sucking this dude's dick the other day, and I was like, and he was all like,
I
like,
got the balls in.
I get the balls in, and I was like, man, for a 12-inch dick, damn, I didn't think I could take it all the way down.
I know. Subscribe to her OnlyFans.
And then a little bit later, she was like, you know what, just go ahead and stick it in my ass. And then after we had it in her ass for a minute, she's like, put him in mouth. And then she went, like, asked him out.
Ask them out.
There's another Kevin Smith reference for you.
Yeah, I got it.
Well, I'm saying
That's
for
good stuff.
them.
Yeah, there you go. I have another. I have another one in my arsenal. I had, when I was thinking of all the stuff I could talk about, I had, that shocking moment with my patient that I did not know that there would be a dick on my woman. And then
Dick on my woman.
Sounds like some Tinder dates.
And then that would be very horrifying, and I don't know how I would react to that. If they were really hot, I'd probably just go with it. But if they weren't, and I'd be like, "Whew, this is very bad looking," be like, "I think we're just gonna part with a handshake." But
Hand job.
no, not even that handshake. So I had this dude. I have a lot of weird people for Uber and Lyft last week. A lot of them were drunk because I was doing like the night stuff, and I usually don't because I don't. Not that I mind drunks, but just sometimes you get like a lone dude that's really chatty and drunk and friendly in your vehicle. Like, oh, this is scary. But this one was during the day, and I think the dude was on something because it was so weird. He reminded me of that dude Andy that we went to school with, like at the CTC, because he was.
Oh yeah.
So he was talking to me, and then he would like say the same stuff down low, but he would say more, and like he was up and down, and I couldn't tell if he was talking to me the whole time or if like some of the things he was like talking to himself, like that he like just talking to himself out loud. And I really don't know because I keep like Scentsy air fresheners and shit in my car, so my car usually smells pretty good. And maybe if it was him, because he kind of smelled bad. But he got in my car, and he just, he sat there, like, no problem. And he was like, the first thing out of his mouth was like, so you don't got a boyfriend or nothing? And I was like, oh, married. I'll tell everybody I'm in a relationship, married, I don't give a fuck. And then, so he was like, because he's like mumbling, he's like, smell like nut in here. I'm like, what? He's like, sperm. It smells like sperm in here. I was like, what? I was like, maybe if it was the last passenger that was before you. And he kept just repeating it, like, it smells like sperm in here. And then he would like be saying that to himself like over and over and over again.
This is like the fucking Silence of the Lambs shit. There's a scene in the movie where Clarice is like going down to meet Hannibal Lecter the first time, and
he
like,
jacks off and throws semen at her. No, that was a different person.
that was like the dude in the next cell, and he's like, "I can smell your cunt." And then
They did say yes.
And then like when he was walking out, he's like, "Hey, I've got something for you. I got something for you." Threw jizz at her or whatever. And then like she like ran off all grossed out, and then of course like Hannibal, being the fucking cannibal that he is, convinced the guy to fucking kill himself.
That's funny.
Because, you know, Hannibal Lecter, he's that kind of a guy. He's a good guy. Sort of. Except for when he's hungry.
But so this dude was like, he kept saying that, and I swear, I don't know what he said, but I swear under his breath, it sounded like he said, "It's giving me a boner." And I was like, Jesus. So his trip wasn't very far, and he was just sitting back in the seat, just sitting. Like, he wasn't even moving or anything. And I'm just like, I'm going through town in Dayton, just running every fucking stop sign. I was like, this one, if I get pulled over, I'm just, hey, officer, you mind if I step out? And I would tell him, like, this is why. Like, this dude's fucking creepy as fuck. And it's like, if I would tell him to get the fuck out, would he try attacking me? Like, he's being really fucking weird. So I get him to where he's going, because at one point I just was like, this dude's fucking weird. And he got out of my car, and just shit poured out of his pocket, like headphone, like little earbuds and stuff, and he was dropping stuff, and he started stumbling around. I was like, hey man, like, you're losing stuff out of your pocket. And he just was wobbly, and I'm like, this dude's on something, definitely. It was really weird. It was funny because, like, after the fact, but I was like, that was freaky. Like, dude, like, I usually don't have shit like that. I avoid doing the drunks because of that. And most people aren't fucked up like that. And I was just like, phew, that was like, sucked.
Yeah, because you never know how somebody's going to act, like if something sets them off or something.
Oh,
like
and
that.
it's real easy.
You don't need some drunk asshole suddenly becoming, they're just drunk and, incensed, and all of a sudden you say something, they're going to get all pissed and start beating the shit out of you.
You don't know what's going to set them off.
I had a drunk lady during the day. It was early, probably before 5, definitely. And she was, for some reason, I forget what she was saying, but then she said something about the bartender talking shit about her Uber driver, which would have been me. And that was even before I showed up. And she goes, yeah, I'm like used to drink a lot. Now I don't drink hardly at all. She's like, I only had like 2 drinks. And she was trashed. Like, oh, okay. And then she's like, yeah, but I told that bartender, like, don't you fucking make fun of my Uber driver. And this was supposed to have happened before I was there. And she was like, I have your back. I would beat her fucking ass. And I was like, oh, and I kind of like laughed about it. She was, what's so funny? Why you like, she fucking got pissed off at me. And I'm like, nothing. I was like, just listening to you. And then she was like, by the end of the trip, she had 3 doubles. It went from, I just only had 2 drinks to like, I had 3 double shots of like, I don't know what the fuck she had. I think it was, the peppermint shit. Not peppermint schnapps, but the, like the strong shit. And I was like, fuck, man. And she was, up to cool, talking like, me and my, Missy, you're badass, you're my Uber driver. And then, like, she'd be like fucking pissed, like, what are you, like flipping. I'm like, what the fuck? This bitch is out of control. And that's like the only 2 out of control people I've ever had. And, well, that's like really creepy.
Ah.
Yeah.
I know where it is now. The Dayton Brewing Company. I was trying to figure that out. Just because I saw a quick look at the map. So you know where Mendelssohn's is down there, or was? Okay, so you know where the Dayton Dragons play, the baseball
Kind
team?
of. Yes.
Mendelssohn's used to be this big, like, electronics liquidation place, and they would buy, like, just lots of shit and throw it in this giant warehouse. They had a smaller warehouse that was off to the side of their building. They shut their shit down a couple years ago just because they shut their shit down. They had 2 buildings. The big building is still sitting empty, waiting for somebody to, like, turn into loft apartments or some shit. But the small building, I remember it had, like, weird shit in it, like mannequins and store displays. They put it in there. The last time I was in there, they had a bunch of creepy mannequins that looked like they'd want to come to life and murder everybody. And I'm talking like a few, I'm talking like 50.
That sounds fun.
And they had, like, so you get, like, the nail places that the Asians always run?
Yes.
They had a bunch of those machines in there, along with the hairdressing stuff. They put it in that building. I know exactly where that is now. And that will be on my to-do list soon.
Hell yeah.
Because looking at the pictures that are inside, It is totally different from when it was Mendelssohn's pack ceiling to floor with like whatever the fuck they could find.
Right, warehouse shit.
Yeah.
Good times.
So, are we ready for the mysterious berries?
Mysterious berries.
And I didn't fuck it up this time.
I was laughing at that to myself. The mystery mystery.
Mystery mystery.
I think we should make a shirt that says mystery mystery. I don't think it would sell because nobody would know what it meant unless they actually watched that episode.
My defense, I'm the dumb shit.
I don't know if that's really working for you. The my defense, I'm a dumb shit.
In my defense, I'm pretty.
When I worked at Integrity, I had an employee that looks like grapefruit.
Okay.
Let's give it a smell. Oh! By the top of the can, I know what it is because I bought that shit too.
Don't say it.
I don't.
That's pretty good. I bought that for one of the, I have it sitting at home.
Oh, that sucks. I can't use it.
Oh, that's alright, I'll drink it. It's fucking good. I like it.
What is it?
Oh, it's delicious.
It's pretty good. What do you think it is, John? What do you taste?
Nothing, because my taste is not that good today.
Tell them what it is.
It's the Ermel's, hold on. So it's Ermel's peach something or other.
Peach.
It's Warpoint. It's like the Ermel's, what do they have? Like the
All that chocolate stuff.
but it's peach.
It is peaches and cream.
That's what it is.
Belgian style cream ale.
Fucking, that is good.
Brewed with spices.
I wonder if that's like fairly new because I've never seen it or heard of it before, and it doesn't taste like a fall beer, but I mean it would be good for fall.
Now I really need to analyze this shit because I'm going to be brewing more of my own peaches and cream tomorrow.
And that's fucking good.
With my altered recipe.
That is so delicious.
So this is 5.4%. It doesn't really say what all's in it. It just says brewed with spices.
Whatever spices go good with peaches.
Soft and fruity flavor, clean and fresh to the nose, deliciously smooth on the palate.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderfully light and refreshing.
Hmm.
Launch your taste buds to a place they've never gone.
That is accurate description. It's like trying to equate it how it tastes similar to the peach rings. It's just not as potent. It's very clean and crisp.
It is.
My peach rings didn't have that much peach in it by comparison, and there was more hops in my peach rings.
Yeah, this one isn't a hoppy at all. It's
This
not
could be like a summer or a fall thing.
It's because of the spice.
Yeah. Yeah, and then it's like kind of light and refreshing for summer.
Mm-hmm.
So spices that go good with peaches would be the next question.
Clove, cinnamon.
Cinnamon,
Yeah.
maybe nutmeg.
Mm-hmm.
Although ginger might be good with peach even.
I would
I figured if they had third ginger in there, they'd have it listed on the thing.
Not necessarily. That's really good.
It is
That's
good.
like I would call that my new favorite beer.
Yeah, this is definitely a sit there and drink the shit out of beer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it definitely goes down smooth.
Super good.
So, yeah, I'm like sitting there reading that, and it reminded me of earlier this week. Somebody was like showing me something on their iPad, and they like put their iPad up, and I'm like doing the old lady thing, like I'm starting to get the old lady eyes, you know, and like they put it up here like this, and I'm like,
Oh, anytime my daughter does that to me, shows me something on her phone, I have to take it. I'm like, hang on. She's like, what the fuck's wrong with you, you old blind man?
I'm getting there.
I'm having the issue when I'm reading something. I have to take the camera on my phone and I have to like use it because it's bigger on my phone. Like, God damn it, why you still have such good eyes?
I've been doing that bullshit for years.
I know.
Like, I have to read, like, a lot of times it'd be like barcodes and serial numbers on things that I have to get for work. And for a while I was like, one of the guys is like, oh, I just carry a magnifying glass with me everywhere. I'm like, pull out phone, take pictures, zoom in. It's this. Or sometimes they put like little barcodes on there. I got like a barcode scanning app. Just go beep. Oh, it's this.
I'm not quite there yet.
I am
I'm getting
because it's quicker and I get lazy.
I just had my eyes checked in like May or something. So.
I haven't had my eyes checked for a while, but I know, like, I think I was reading a shampoo bottle is what got me because it was not a very like the print versus the bottle wasn't very contrasty and it was super fucking small. I was like, Jesus fuck.
All the laptops at work are silver, like aluminum, and they all have like their information and barcodes printed on the bottom. But the problem is, it's not like burned in there with like a black or printed on black. I think literally they just have like a laser etch it in, so it's like a silver gray on a silver aluminum, and it's just like, god damn, man. Like half the time, if I pull out that barcode reader app, it can't even see the freaking barcode to read it. You know.
Nice. That's funny.
Talking about old people eyes. I still remember when I got these glasses. I went to the eye doctor. I'm like, say, hey, what do you think about me getting laser vision? Your eyes are too shitty. What? Well, you could, but what they're going to have to do is completely go in and like replace the lens. And what's going to happen is you're either going to have to choose far away for driving or close up for reading. So you'll still have to get readers probably.
That's funny. So
It's
they
like-
basically said, we can fix your eyes, but only in one direction. The other way, you'll have to still wear glasses.
Basically, and I'm like, okay, and you know, I was like, well, how much do you think that'll cost? Oh, as bad as yours are, it'll be total lens replacement, so like $1,000, $2,000 an eye, so you know, close to $4,000 a month.
That's funny.
It's like, oh shit.
It's usually what, like half that for most
Yeah.
people.
Well, what
It's
you,
like almost they advertise it at like $500 an eye now
Well-
or something like that.
Really? I was gonna say I thought it was around $1,500.
well, what the funny thing is that she said
Probably
is
have to have
basically
pretty good eyes for
as soon
500.
as like keep getting my regular checkups, and as soon as I have anything that even starts to look like a cataract, claimants for cataract surgery and regular insurance will cover like almost 100% of it. I'm like, okay. So just wait a few more years till I get really fucking blind.
There you go. So I was gonna say, looking at your glasses have come a long way because I used to be like fucking definition of Coke bottle glasses.
Yeah, they've gotten really fucking good at making them thin.
Oh yeah, I do. I was like, Jesus fuck. Is that what they mean by Coke bottles? I had no idea glasses
Dude,
got that thick.
when I was like in kindergarten, first grade, when I first got,
Jesus.
I swear to God, they were like that thick. They were
Yeah,
half
but
inch
hell,
thick
even
shit.
when you were in junior and senior year, I was like, damn, bro, they make glasses that thick. Like, how the fuck does how does that happen? Like,
Shitty genetics and eyes.
that's great. And then, odd thing with cataracts. I forget where I saw the one thing, but my parents, I think they both had cataract surgery.
How
And
many of these did you get? Just the one?
just the one.
Ooh.
They're at Kroger.
Field trip.
Oh, you should, but they're also at Kroger because that's where I got mine.
Field
So-
trip for that.
So when
About
my
you.
parents got their cataract surgery,
I'll be tasting like peach juice forever. Cause
I'm gonna go home and drink mine. It's just no point in like saving it.
well, like, I had given to me like probably 5 pounds of peaches. I went and bought another 5 pounds of peaches in a juicer yesterday.
Right.
So tomorrow I'm going to be juicing all that for my own peaches and cream beer the next round.
Right. But so anyway, so my dad recorded my mom's cataract surgery. It's really weird because you're watching the shit get sucked out of there by whatever machine. And I can't remember if I was at a museum or if this was online that I saw. But one of the first cataract surgery tools was like, it went down to like a real small point. It was like metal and it was kind of like intricately designed and it came out wider and they would like suck it out like with their mouth. And that was like the first cataracts tools. I was like those like Egyptian style cataract removal.
Man, anytime like some of the shit I've been watching has been like old timey surgeries and shit they did in like
That's some fucking weird ass shit.
shit they used to do. Like they talked about like old time dentistry. They were talking like Victorian England where they had like a foot pedal drill to like drill out dentures and
Oh,
shit.
that would be so horrible.
And just like they're like they showed this one tool that was like a tooth pulling tool, and basically it was like looked like just an L-shaped lever. And it had like just a little hook on it like this, and the guy had he was sitting there with like mock-up of a jaw explaining how to use it, and he was like basically you put it on there, and he's like, no, you'd be just talking to the patient just like this, pop, and just twist it and just pop out, and you'd probably just bust out several teeth. There was no anesthetic, none of that. It was like right around the time they started using opium for things.
Nice. See, it's probably very similar, other than like the violent force of it breaking other teeth. Because I've had a tooth
Yeah, that was
removed.
the other thing they talked about. It was known to do that.
I had another tooth removed because like they were just too crowded in there because I had like both wisdom teeth coming in, and so when I had this bottom tooth removed, this for whatever reason the top side of my mouth was like hurting so bad that like when I went in, they're just like, I think they probably could have been able to do something like the only thing we could do is remove it, like the top one to keep it from hurting, but they removed it and like that wisdom tooth like fell into place, but it's almost like a pair of like scissors that grip it. And so they numb you and shit, but when it just grips it, because I asked him about it, like
felt like the thing just crumbling in your jaw.
It is so weird because it applies force somehow down, and it just kind of pulls it up, and it just comes right out. Like
it sounds so fucking gross too.
It does because it's like it sounds like shit's being broke and it's ripped, and
you cannot. It's not just a matter of like hearing it, it's a matter of feeling it in your skull.
It wasn't that bad.
So, like on my lower right side, I had two molars. Back molar was like this, and then there was one that kind of grew at an angle to it like this. Where these two touched, this guy had a cavity started because there's no way to brush in it, and the top broke off of it. And to get this guy out, they had to pull this one, so both of them went. And yeah, I just remember like it was like the crunching. It was like a crunching sound.
Does. It does. It sounds like bones breaking, and but it's so weird. Like it's literally it's ripping away from your teeth. Like it's the gums. It's ripping skin.
It's like bones breaking and like a suction kind of sound.
Yeah. The worst part for me was they definitely numbed the shit out of it, but the tooth that it broke off the top, like the whole cap, it broke off the tooth. It just hurt so bad. By the time you had everything, I was like, huh.
Interesting. Like, no big deal.
On our next white trash episode.
they gave me like a bunch of pain pills. Like, there you go. It's before it was like 10 years ago now. It was before they decided that opioids are bad. They're like, so what do you want? We'll give you all the opioids. I'm like, what's the lightest stuff you can get? Because I just don't wanna.
They one of the things they do now to help heal, I forget exactly what they do. They take blood and they put it in a whatever it is, but it spins and it does something weird.
Centrifuge?
Something like that, I don't know. But it literally creates a plug and they just they shove it in the hole and that helps it heal or whatever. I don't know exactly how that works. But the one thing that I had, because at one point.
For the record, I hope our viewers cringe as bad as she did when we were talking about.
That was great cringing.
Yeah, her cringing.
That was like the worst sound I've ever heard in my life.
But I had the top and the bottom, like both pulled out at the same time fairly recently, like within a couple weeks apart. And it freaked me out because at one point, like I could only open my mouth like this, and I was like, it had been a while. I was like, what the fuck? Why is this affecting me now like this? And I really couldn't get any food in my mouth to eat because like my teeth were still, like in the way and stuff, and I was freaking out, and I called the dentist. They're like, oh, it's like sometimes natural, blah blah blah, and you have this, and there might be like a little bit of bone fragments or tooth fragments that just didn't fully get removed, and they have to like fall into place. I'm like, ugh. And it just took a while for me to be able to open my mouth. Like it was literally like.
And that was the last time Missy was quiet ever.
I was like, oh my god, like I can't open my mouth. Like I can barely eat. Because at the time that I was trying to do it, I was starting to eat an apple, and my bite kept getting smaller and smaller, and I was like, my jaw's gonna lock. This is gonna be the worst. And then it was better.
And then when Missy was quiet, it was great. No, never mind. A quiet Missy would be a sad Missy.
Maybe. Might be sad for everybody else. Might be fun for everybody else.
I've seen Missy be pretty quiet.
And I wasn't sad. It might be sad for everyone
chill.
else. Yeah, sometimes I do just become chill, and it's just like, and everybody, what's wrong? Oh my god, what's wrong? I'm like, I'm just enjoying myself.
I think I get more like that the older I get too.
Like the quiet is nice. Come on.
So are you wearing Bert and Ernie socks?
I am. I got an Ernie on that one, and this one's Big Bird though.
Oh, Big
I wish I had, but they don't have birds.
Show your feet to the camera.
Bert.
Because it's right. You think that it would be. Oh god, my knees cracked. God, I'm fucking old.
Okay,
both
here.
sides. Shit, I'm old as fuck.
There. Let's see.
fucking funny. I wish they were burnt though. No, anything that you buy at Sesame Street, like the most popular, it is all Elmo. And then
Elmo is lame.
it's like a lot Elmo. Logan loves Elmo. Whenever I buy like Sesame Street socks for myself, and any of them that have only Elmo on them, I give him all the Elmo ones. But it's like
Oscar and Grouch and Cookie Monster where it's at. I was kind of
right, they are.
Elmo is a sociopath. Elmo only talks about himself in third person. Elmo has his whole own world. Elmo is the best. If you do not like Elmo, Elmo will not allow you in his world, and Elmo thinks you can die and go to hell.
That's true.
Elmo hates you.
Like Elmo's the most popular. Then it's like Big Bird and Cookie Monster, and then even Ernie. Like you find like they'll put Ernie in with all the stuff, and then you'll find Oscar. That's like fuck, man.
But you know who I always liked? Those hippie ones, like that hippie shit.
These were cool. Those were more Muppets than Sesame
Yeah.
Street.
Sesame Street was kind of on the Muppets.
Yeah,
Well,
they were all
both, they
together.
were both like made by Jim Henson
Yeah.
kind of stuff anyway.
Well, if you had the Muppet Baby, no, that's not Sesame Street though.
See,
Did
Kermit
they
was on like
have-
Sesame Street forever. I don't know if he still is, but
He is. So he was on Sesame Street and the Muppets, wasn't he on the Muppets?
yeah, he
That's
was like
where
the
they
main,
were
he was like the
mixed
main
together.
dude on the Muppets.
Yeah, he was like the main everything.
Hippie chick was cool and animal.
Yes, absolutely.
Remember
Those
they
were
put
cool.
Muppets on Disney Plus, and I was like, sweet. And I started watching
And
that
it's
for a
still on there?
while. What? I think so. I started watching that shit. And my daughter came in the room. She's like, "What the fuck are you watching?"
Muppets are great.
I'm like, "The Muppets." Who the hell is that? And they had hell's the guy that played Gomer Pyle in one episode, running around with a guitar singing country songs. She's like, "This is the worst goddamn thing ever."
That's funny.
Turned it up a little bit. Turned it up a little bit. Then after a few minutes, I'm like, "Yeah, this is pretty shitty."
I think I also I'd see they don't have any like there for a while they had really good Sesame Street shit, and I remember having so when they were doing the Beanie Babies, I had Sesame Street Beanie Babies, and I know I had Oscar. I feel like if I didn't have the Snuffleupagus, they had like I feel like I did have that guy, and if they didn't have the little like the worms that they called, did they call those worms? No,
Inchworms.
they were the inchworms. Yes. And I think maybe it was just with Oscar, and then I had the Count. Like, and I even had a Count shirt. The Count was cool too. And you don't find anything with the Count. You don't find anything Snuffleupagus.
Well, you don't find anything with the Count because they don't want to address the fact that he's a vampire and goes around
Vampires are evil, right?
and sucks the blood out of the stuffing out of other Muppets and has an undead army of the night where he goes, one zombie, two zombie, three
That would be
zombies.
great.
We were making fun of one of my friends a while back. This has been a long time ago, but we were making fun of her for lying about something.
Yeah.
And I don't know how the Count got involved, but it was
That's
like
funny.
one lie.
Two lines. Three
That's funny
lines.
shit.
She's a lying bitch.
That's fucking amazing.
Sesame Street's like super woke now. They're I think somehow or another I think Showtime got them.
Really?
Yeah, they're not just strictly their own thing.
The PBS, the free channel.
But like they're still on there. But I think they're being produced or something by Showtime. They have like a homeless Muppet, an autistic Muppet, and some other things like that.
And now there's
That's not a
Sesame
bad
Street
thing.
porn.
Right, there you go. I saw. It
That was
really
something
funny.
we talked about. I talked about the other day and shared the trailer for in a little group chat.
Well, there was a
Meet the Feebles. Meet the Feebles.
okay, that's what that. So there was a meme that I saw that was said something about like they were like advertising that blah 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 on Sesame Street. Sesame Street's addresses homeless with the very first homeless character, and then somebody replied, "Oscar's been living in a trash can for 53 years."
I remember seeing
Yeah.
that one.
I was like, "Yeah, sons of bitches, fuck that guy. Apparently, he doesn't matter."
Well, he's just trash, you know.
Yes. And he apparently he has a home in his trash can.
As long as you're living in a trash can.
Right, that's a home, man. His
You
trash
know-
can's pretty badass if you watch Elmo and Grouchland.
Yeah.
That one's fun because there's all kinds of Grouches. I remember having that. I got Keith bought that for me, and I think I made him go see that with me in the
I
theater.
want to say we watched, like, that sounds
We
familiar.
probably
Yeah.
did, as I had the tape of it.
Did Did you guys actually watch the Meet the Feebles trailer since we're on the topic?
I'm not sure.
If you sent a link to the trailer, I probably did, but I probably
I sent it to the
confused
group
and had
chat.
no
I
idea
try to
what
watch
it was.
everything that you guys send. I just don't know to reply.
Right.
Okay, so
I'm the same way. I'm like,
so
okay,
for
this is enough.
our fans
There's like
that don't
20
know,
memes
That's why I
today.
have group chats.
for our
So I
fans
don't have
that
to
don't know,
reply.
Google the trailer for Meet the Feebles.
Somebody that's
I apologize for nothing on that, but Meet the Feebles came out like 88, 89, and it's like a R-rated, X-rated version of the Muppets. It's a parody, and it's made by It's made by Peter Jackson, the same guy that made the big, fancy, well-known Lord of the Rings trilogy. That's all super family friendly. It's before he got big.
Okay. I was really confused by your post, and I was like, why is he?
There's a character in it that's their version of Miss Piggy that is a giant hippo with huge tits, and at one point she keeps having sex with people and like crushing and killing them.
I need to watch that now. I had no idea
Uh,
that's what that was, and I'm going to watch
yeah.
it.
yeah, that's Meet the Feebles, man.
That's great.
It is some fucked up stuff. There's like a fly that keeps running around doing cocaine or something.
That's funny.
There's some variation of Rizzo the Rat. I don't think they have their own Kermit the Frog, but like
Who's Rizzo the Rat? Oh,
Gonzo's friend the Rat.
got you. Alrighty.
I thought you guys knew your shit.
I
I know who you're talking about.
I wasn't sure because from Muppet Babies he had his chick Camilla,
Well, he had a
and
chicken.
well he also had the chicken Camilla on the Muppets too.
Yeah, he had his girl, but his boy was Rizzo the Rat. He was fucking the chicken, but he's buddies with the rat.
That's funny. He's just the weird
After
loner that's
after
just
Miss Piggy rejected his love, he started having sex with the chicken, and he was okay.
Yeah. There is another Muppet-based show. It's not Muppet, but it's a puppet-based type show, and he's a cop, and they're interacting a lot with humans. And I think it was a Netflix original. Maybe it wasn't a Netflix.
Maybe I think it was
original.
I think I know what you're talking about.
I
It was
watched
like
it. It's
Showtime.
kind of funny.
I thought it was like Showtime
I ended up watching it on
or
Netflix.
Comedy Central, maybe.
I don't know what it was, but maybe it was just in the theaters. But I ended up watching it, and it was actually kind of funny.
Let's say since we're on the topic of like Muppet-like things, you can always go with Avenue Q.
I
Broadway.
remember you talking about that back in the day, and I very vaguely remember.
It's a
watching
Broadway
it.
play that has spawned one of the greatest songs
I was
ever.
gonna say, is it gay? Is it all the gays? Like, is it Avenue Q, Q for queer? Is that what it is?
No,
Oh,
just where
okay.
they live. No, it spawned
Gotcha.
one of the greatest songs, and you'll immediately know as soon as
I
say it.
remember.
The internet is for porn.
Did they? What was the preview for it? Did they play that at Rocky?
No, this was never
Why
a
did I
movie.
always see it?
This was never a thing, but that
Were
song.
there a lot of gay puppets in it?
Not really.
Why do I think it was a gay thing?
There may be some gay puppet show shit.
I don't know.
But Avenue
Maybe.
Q was like about a human and a like Muppet type character trying to survive in like New York City on Avenue Q, which is like way the fuck from downtown or something. And like one of the main characters saves the day or something because everybody's about to get evicted and kicked out because in the early days of the internet he invested heavily in porn stocks.
That's funny.
And then there's a whole song, the internet is for porn. And if you look up the internet is for porn on YouTube, you'll find a shit ton of like where people have edited Disney movies and any other cartoon you come up with where the characters are sitting there running around saying the internet is for porn.
That's good stuff.
It is why the internet was born.
Probably. It became mostly a shit show, porn, shock fest. That's cool. I'm alright with that.
No.
I'm liking it. It works.
And there's a nice encyclopedic thing of everything Muppet and puppet related. Nothing like a saucy puppet show.
Yes.
So, we've ran out of beer. We still have some time to go. Is there anything else we'd like to chit chat about?
Are you guys doing haunted houses this year?
Fuck yes.
There's at least a couple weeks I'm taking my kids. I have to.
I think we talked about on here a while back where I did a thing where I was a syphilitic clown running around acting like a jackass or some movie thing.
Yes.
That was at a haunted house down in Cincinnati, and because I checked in there on Facebook and did a few things, I keep getting advertisements for it. But it's called Terror Town, and my cousin saw it. I talked about it with Zach, and I am definitely going to fucking do that. The cool thing about that place.
Oh, is that what you tagged Zach in the other day?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. The
That
cool
looks
thing.
fun, but I would not like to be touched.
Well, the thing about it is that I remember.
You can, but you can buy a bracelet or
All the caution thing you were talking about earlier.
similar, but it's at a different place.
But
Because of that one, they'll even drag you off and just do weird shit. And yeah,
Well,
I wouldn't like it.
when I was
It pissed me off.
the thing about it is when I was there doing the movie shoot, between like times I was up, me and this other girl who was on set that day like went wandering around, and they had all their like Halloween haunts, like their mazes and things set up, so you can go look at them. They, the place is
Right.
closed, but they left all their props and everything there because private property. We went walking around through all the haunted houses, during the daylight, looking at all the stuff. This like dentist doctor thing set up, and it was all cool. It's like, man, I want to see this shit as a haunt.
Right. I think it would be cool, but like I think at a minimum. So the thing that Ron sent, it said something like, so they can throw things at you, like they mix just foods together and throw it at you. And make
Oh,
it
that
like
no,
vomit.
that's
No, like they even because they said something about throwing stuff at you and making a mess. Fake? No, that's not what it is. It's fake blood and something else, like warm water or something for whatever, probably just to make it like be like pee.
no. That was. Are you talking about the thing I did with Zach, or the one I tagged him in the other day?
The one that you tagged him in the other day. So they even said that. So like basically like that at a minimum they'll do that. And if you're wearing like the whatever like a certain color bracelet, they'll see that bracelet on you, and they'll be more physical with you. Like they might knock you to the ground and drag you off and stuff like that. And then if you're wearing the safety bracelet like that you would just wear because you don't want to be touched, or you're under 18. So I was like, I can take my kids there. If they're wearing the under 18 bracelet, it'll be all right, and I'll just wear that with them. But it said something about still getting stuff thrown at you, like you still might become a mess.
I don't know
was like,
about that one, but I
like
know.
that
Definitely wear black to that.
I don't know
would
about
also
that
piss
one,
my
but I
kids
did
off, I
a
think.
couple years. It was 2019. It was pre-COVID for sure. Did this extreme haunt down. It was like right on the Indiana, Ohio, Cincinnati area down there. We went to this extreme haunt where after they shut down for their normal thing, we paid some extra money for it, but we did this extreme haunt where they were allowed to just totally fuck with you. And you went up doing that all going in, and if you survived, they gave you your money back at the end. Survived. But like some of the shit they had you doing, you'd have the normal haunted house stuff, but like they would drag everybody out in groups of like 2 or 3, depending on how big your group was. And the first thing they did was they dragged you out to this field, tell you to sit down on this pile of crap, not actual crap, but just like junk, and they'd throw bags over your head. And this one dude walked up and was like, "Oh, I gotta piss. Oh man, I gotta piss." And he'd get like, it was a water bottle, but he'd get like warm water and they'd start spraying it on you like he was being pissed on. They'd be like, that's better. And then, you'd hear this like loud ass bus pull up. They'd grab everybody, throw them in the bus and lock them in the back. And they'd say, "Sit down, shut the fuck up. We'll fucking kill you." And, they'd fucking with you and all this stuff. And, eventually they ripped the hoods off. And, it was trying to make it more like a real, like, horror film experience type shit. There were parts where they had us, like, the compression wall thing. They had us army crawling on the ground below those things.
I would hate that. That is like the shit that I would hate right there.
Um,
I don't know if I would mind being dragged off as much as I would hate that fucking shit.
The
Honestly-
compression wall.
honestly-
they have those in the caves.
I know.
Honestly, my
I'm
favorite
not a
fucking
fan.
part of that.
I'm not a fan because of other people, the way they act.
So my favorite
Right.
fucking part of that whole entire extreme haunt experience, they drug Zach off. There were these two, like, scantily clad psycho nurse chicks, because they always have scantily clad psycho nurse chicks. And they had made up this combination of ramen noodles, mayonnaise, mustard, ketchup, and cottage cheese, all mixed together in this big fucking vat. They had Zach tied to this like dentist chair. They're acting like they're gonna kill him. They're like, "You're gonna need to feed your buddy, or we're gonna fucking kill him." Okay. And like they're like, "Feed your buddy." They're heading this spoon. They're like, yes, rub it all over his face. And I was like, sweet, doing this shit to him. They're like, "Give him more." They had this big vat there. I'm like, "For real? Give him more. Feed him more." It's like, all right. Grabbed this big heaping handful, just smeared it all over his face and shirt and all this other shit. It was goddamn hilarious.
I think it would stink. That would be my issue. That it would stink.
It was awful smelling. Like the shirt that he had on, it stained it and shit.
Right.
Like at one point they're like, "Give him more," and I just took a big handful and just winged it at him.
And that, like, I think that would be like I would like to experience that, but then I also think I wouldn't because I hate people touching me unless I'm okay with them touching me. And if I don't know you, I'm not really okay.
Well,
with
they
it.
had me doing all that shit, so they're telling me to do it.
Right.
I was just going to town.
And I hate being made a mess. That's like, I mean, I would rather like the water, being dragged, like being shoved, being pushed, being like held down, or
What was
I could probably do that. Being made a mess would fucking piss me off.
What was
I
one,
can't do
one
that.
of the other things they did was they had you go into this like cattle chute that in the normal thing would have been open on both sides, but they had the door shut. They had a padlock there, and they had a dude with like a shotgun loaded with just a blank. They're like, "You need to get this open because we're gonna start counting. If it ain't open," they fired the fucking shotgun, and we're gonna fucking kill you. They kept putting the gun in there. And like they're like, "Here's the key." Oh, and they dropped a bag of keys. And you're going through there and all this shit.
That's funny.
And at one point they're like, "Hey, hey, hey," and they're like, "None of these keys are gonna fucking be it." Are like, "Hey, hey, hey," and they had like the side thing open. I stepped. They're like, "Oh, okay, you win."
That's funny.
Because it just was like stepped out of the thing through the side thing. It's like, "Cause none of the keys are gonna work." And they're like,
Right.
"You're right, none of them are gonna work."
So like, I've never been to one like that where they actually like do that kind of
Oh,
stuff.
that
But
was one of those hard to find ones, man.
the thing, like the ones that I go to, like they don't really scare me that much until those fucking compression walls. Like I fucking hate that shit. I am claustrophobic, so it bothers me. So like whoever I'm with, you're holding my hand.
That's funny. So
I
for me,
love the
there's
compression. I love the compression walls. I always merchant was the bubble and squeezing out the bubble.
yes, it's like the first time I ever been in one of those. Somebody I was with, they were like, "Is this what a penis feels like?" It's like going into a vagina, and then it's like they done that particular day. They didn't bother me, but there's been times where I've gone to the caves where they just packed everybody in there. So you have people like it's just people pushing, and then the people in front of me too afraid to fucking go, and so I'm stuck in the middle.
Right.
That's what I hate.
Okay, I can get that.
But then, like, I mean, other than that, like the compression walls aren't too bad. Like I can walk through it, and it's like one of those things. Like you get a little bit panicky because you don't know how long it's going to take to walk through it, but it's like they don't really last that long. You're just stuck in there longer because everybody else fucking sucks at doing them.
I don't know what it is, but like being claustrophobic and being lost are like the two things that fuck with me for some
They
reason.
do. That's funny. I don't know. I was going to say something, but I forgot.
One of the other haunts that I've done that I need to do again, I might try to get to it this year. There's a haunt in Wilmington, Ohio, where they ride around and cut off school buses.
That was fun.
I've heard of that one. I've never been to it.
You never been to it?
Well,
I remember
Unless we went
Miss
when we were
Massing was telling us about it, and so I remember going with a group of people.
I vaguely remember like hearing about it before though.
I don't know. I can't remember who I went with. I mean, I know Keith was there. I think his buddy Larry was there.
I might have went then.
It was like for some reason I kind of remember Eric being there.
Dude, I can't remember shit from when I was a
Yeah,
teenager.
but I've heard. It's funny though because it was way cool. I remember it being way cooler when we were a teenager, and then when I went with the kids, like it was like kind of fun, but it was they didn't have as much heavy machinery there, so it was kind of lame.
You know, I think maybe I was at that.
When I went, this was within the last 5 to 7 years when I went. But the thing I remember most that just made it suck shit because those buses there was no to take cover. We were about a third of the way in, half the
Oh
way in.
God, it rained.
It fucking rained. It was cold fucking rain. It was one of those nights where it started off hot and then the temperature dropped from like the 70s down to the 40s, and it was like an hour and a half till I got home, and everybody was miserable.
That's funny.
Yeah.
No. So when I was trying to get my kids to go do haunted stuff, Logan used to be really scared of shit. Jacob was all about it, and I'm just like, let's just get Logan picked up. Like scared of movies, scared of he'd be sitting at the couch. There was one time he was really into something. He was eating a bowl of cereal, and he was like real little, and he just started leaning more and more forward with a spoon, just like this, like just holding it. And something happened, and he got scared. He fucking just started screaming. He gets really into shit like that. He gets really scared easily. But not so much anymore. But when he was younger and he was going to the haunted houses, there was one that I had gone to. I can't remember what the first one was. So there was one that we went to one year where we went through, and I wonder if this one was at the caves. I really don't remember. But there was like an embalming table that they had someone standing beside, and you could see it was just like a dummy that was on it, and they were like chopping on it, doing like this weird thing, and then they tilted it up. and then you just saw where like it was kind of like looked like a bloody mess where they were chopping it, and then all of a sudden like this warm liquid comes out and it gets her right in the fucking face, and so he's like super pissed. It's just water. But he's like really fucking pissed because it just couldn't have hit him better in like the eye and his face. It didn't hurt him, but it was just the fact that it got him just like that. And I was trying to get him to not be so scared of those places. And so he's just like, he hated it. And he loved it until that point. That was the end. And then he hated it and said it was like the fucking worst night ever, even though he loved everything else before that. So the next year, I was like, I had to beg him to come with us wherever we went. I think that was like when we went to Middletown with you.
Okay.
And so one of the places we went into, like a lot of times they do these screens that's just like a projection. So we were watching it, and we're staring really close at it, and like this girl, it looked like she was in a window or whatever. And then all of a sudden she did something. There was this flower there, and it squirted him right in the fucking face like the next year. And he was so pissed. And then like Biddy got over it pretty quickly. But like 2 years in a row. The one that does not want to go, that I had to beg him to go both times, and he fucking happened to him twice. It was like the funniest thing I ever saw.
So I think we definitely need to make a butt plug haunted house one.
Something like that. Just like
Something.
the
daughter,
one
I
in
would
Middletown, they have bars and stuff there. Like they don't just have regular beer.
My daughter, I would take her, but she's doing that. Dad's old and lame. I don't want to go hang out with him, kind of shit. So that's your loss, kid.
Right. Because at least you're going out and doing something.
So sadly, I think we are coming up on time.
We are.
So
They recorded, and I think it did pretty good.
yeah. So what have we learned today, ladies?
To bring the fucking memory card so I don't have to do this shit again. Even though it was kind of like cool. Like I at least see how dumb I look, so I can be like, oh man, maybe I should. There we go. I don't look so dumb right now. Sit like this, and I don't look so dumb. Oh my god, my crotch.
Her crotch.
my legs. I am old as fuck. Both knees crack. Pop, poppity pop.
So we've learned you're old. What have you learned today, Rhiannon?
That I should take notes.
That's what you always. I don't know. I don't remember what we talked about.
Our houses are cool.
I have the same taste in beer choices as Missy. I bought one that she did buy, and
I fucked Missy over.
That's right. Fucking 2 beers that I could. I didn't buy the one though. Damn it, Missy.
It's okay, it's not.
Nope.
I didn't learn a damn thing other than I don't know. That worked okay.
I'm really fat.
I learned
Yeah.
that old surgery techniques are fucked up.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude.
You gotta use your mouth a lot, apparently.
Something. No concerns for spreading diseases and shit.
No. I was watching this weird TikTok.
Some of those videos, they thought that when you got sick, it was because your body was out of balance and you either had too much of something or not enough of something.
So just start pumping you full of shit.
Well, it was either
chopping stuff off.
you didn't have enough blood, you had too much piss, bile, or spit. It was like the 4 humors or something. I don't remember what it was specifically, but it all came down to green, yellow, clear, and then something was blue or something. That's what they represented. I don't know.
Speaking of weird medical procedures, this obviously wasn't too long ago because I remember my parents talking to me about it. But there was a video I watched where they were doing it was like a TikTok where they were showing an old vaccine procedure, and people were just rolling up their sleeve and the next person.
Oh, the
so it was like saying needle. I was looking at that. I was so revolting to see
that.
that.
Talking about I remember my grandpa talking about that when
That's where you get the big scar on your
when he
arm.
got in the army. They would have these basically air nozzles
Yes.
needles. And then when they drafted people, they're just
There's like a
just down
predetermined
the line.
amount.
And it was just like a pneumatic get them down the line, keep going.
And that's what they
So
were
anti-vaxxers, they could be doing now the COVID vaccine.
Chewy. No.
I think you're freaked out about it now. So anyway, I think that's a good place to cut off for today.
Pop.
Snap, crackle, pop.
I didn't think that it would,
Snap,
but it
crackle,
did.
pop,
Not
Mrs.
just not as loud as what it had been.
My phone is ringing
Alrighty.
for my daughter, so it's a good place to stop. So,
So,
subscribe, all that other good shit. YouTube, Facebook, TikTok.
comment
Do
and
the
send us your funny looking dick pics.
Yeah.
They have to be in costumes. If it's just a regular dick pic, we don't want it.
We don't care about your dick pic.
We just want them
Unless
in
it has a
costumes.
costume or you wear it.
Halloween dicks. It's the
Yeah.
Halloween season. Costume tits.
Here's the thing. If you like the quality of this episode versus some of our other episodes, let us know because we do have a different recording method.
There you go.
Strobingbuttplug.com.